I really like that, you've used the social media to really get your name out there, and it's really helped you in many ways. And I love that you're just kind of like dived into like the culture. You're at the Lowrider show, you're doing your thing out there. So, what do you really love about the Latino culture, the Lowrider culture, the oldie culture? What do you love about it?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, the Lowrider, I fell in love with it since I was a baby. My dad has, which we still have it, but my dad had a 64 Impala. Fell in love with it. We used to cruise around it and go to car shows, since I was little. I guess it's just the atmosphere, how, the way you represent your car is like a represent of yourself, and how much love you put into that car, and how much you take care of it. You're showing people like who you are as a person with their car, and just seeing how everyone is so proud of what they are and their car, and when they're with their family, it's like basically like a family thing too, because you see kids, you see their wives or their husbands. It's just that environment, like everything is just so laid back, everybody's there as one, and everyone is there basically for the love of what we all do, which is the Lowrider and oldies as well. I feel like oldies is the same thing as well. It kind of brings us all together, or brings a time in our life, which it could bring from back in the day, something in the past you could think of, like, oh, I was at this place when this song came on when I first heard it, to a memory of somebody maybe you once loved or lost, So I think it's like that. I would say that's a big impact of like what made me fall in love, and how much I love that Lowriders and oldies.
Yeah, and I like that, kind of where the oldie scene is going. And, it's kind of cool that, back when we were younger, you had like the hip hop and stuff that was kind of bringing up back like that funk, and it kind of bring the old school with the new school, and it kind of just bring that culture, the Lowrider culture, all that kind of blended in with that, that rap at that time.
Yeah.
Now it's like the kids are kind of hearing like the soul, but they're hearing like a cover version of it, or they're hearing like maybe a sample from an oldie and into the new hip hop or the new soul song. So it's kind of cool that you're adding to that. And, have you had any like younger fans come up to you and like, man, I really like your song? Or have you had any of the, when you're at these events, have you had any fans approach you like that?
Oh yeah, all the time. I even have some people, I would say the one that sometimes gets people is the cover that I did, which is How Can I Tell My Mom and Dad? That one probably hit a lot of people, not even just in the older generation from like way back in the day, like, ooh, like you brought me back to when I was feeling this type of way, or, to even to this new generation to now, it's just crazy how it's like how you said, like, it's kind of like a full circle effect. It's kind of like in a circle, or, how they feel at that time, like, oh, dang, like you made, like how that song made me feel like how I be feeling right now, or even just a happy song that I've done. It's just crazy, like, or even the newer generation that probably never heard of oldies, and then now maybe they've heard maybe my cover, and then just kind of be like, well, what is this, So it's kind of like for me, it's kind of like opening the gates for the new generation, but then also bringing back something and memories for the older generations as well.
Yeah, it's like a double whammy. So, and I think that's why the modern soul is so popular right now, because you are getting the older crowd and the newer crowd is getting into that, and it's like the modern R&B, So it's like, this is what it is. And I remember going to a Tuxedo show. This was like 3 years ago, and being there, and it was weird. Like I seen like some old guys that would like, what? Like I didn't expect that, because they sing like, kind of like the funk, and it's like old school, but I wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah.
And then seeing that, I was like, wow, this is like really hitting like all cylinders, all different type of culture, young, old, everybody. So that's really cool that you're able to, kind of be a part of that culture, and you're doing things in a big way. So a lot of the videos that I've seen are getting a lot of hits, right? So you're getting definitely attention out there. Your Instagram is just blowing up, right?
Yeah.
And I want to go into that. So I think what's really cool about you, like, again, is that you are like like in the culture. Like you're doing your thing, you're singing your songs. Like I don't know, do you take requests on Instagram at all? Or you do whatever you
I
want
do
to
sometimes. I do my best, to be honest. I always try to tell people, like, I'm sorry if you don't think I'm ignoring you, but it's not the case. It's just sometimes the songs that they request, it's kind of hard to find either the instrumental or the ones that don't have like the music on top of it. So it's just, it kind of makes it of a struggle, but I do the best that I can to please my fans and to please them. And if there is a instrumental, then like I will get to it, and I will make sure that I do it right and I do it justice, not just for the fans, but to the artists as well, you know, that made the song.
Yeah, you really do really good on those songs. And I like the way that there's some songs that you've done that like you do it in your own special way, which is really cool. So if you know, if you find this video, definitely go check out her Instagram. Yeah, just the way she does a lot of those songs are just different and really cool how you just interact with the fans. Can you give us an idea of when you started really taking this serious? And kind of give us that background so people kind of understand where you came from as far as jumping into this industry.
I didn't start taking it seriously till it's like a year and a half, almost 2 years now. I didn't start taking it seriously then as to when I was with the band that I'm still with now, BB Wolf. They had ended up having a girl for a party that they requested to have a girl singer. Just so happened she ended up she couldn't make it, then she had to back down, so they had to find one really quick. It just so happened the place that they were performing at, it was at one of my family's events. So me, you know, was like, oh, let me just sing again Angel Baby for my family at this event. And it just so happened they asked me like, hey, what are you doing in like 2 weeks? And I was like, nothing, probably work, I don't know. And they're like, hey, a girl backed out. They requested a girl at this birthday party. Can you sing all these songs? We're gonna give you these lists in 2 weeks. So it was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, I already knew the songs. It's just more like how I'm gonna hit the note and what key it's in for me to suit it for me. So surprisingly, I did it in 2 weeks. 2 weeks went by. They were totally impressed. They thought I killed it, and they were like thoroughly impressed with it. And then after that, they just kept calling me and hitting me up like, hey, what are you doing for this weekend? This weekend, this weekend. We're getting booked for this and getting booked for that. So it just kind of went in a trickling effect. So the more I kept performing with them, the more I felt confident. Like, okay, maybe I am good. Like, you know, or everyone keeps telling me I'm good, like, okay, maybe. So then that's when I finally took the liberty to finally have the confidence to finally post a video, which was last year, which was Patty Drew Tell Him. And then that video went viral. And that's when the following started going up, the reposts and the comments and the likes. And then probably a month after that, not even a month after that, I think like 2 weeks after that video came out, or maybe less than that, is when the record label that I am signed to now is the one that found me. And then I met with them in the meeting. And then a month after that, I signed with them. And then from there, it just kind of went from there. And then here we are now.
I mean, that's like such an incredible story. And I remember just listening to you tell it, it's like, wow, you know, like things can really happen quickly in this world today. You know, it's really cool. I mean, there's a little girl out there, or a little boy out there that's just thinking about singing, and you know, man, what if I just put out a video? You just never know. And here you go. I mean, it's like, it's just that crazy right now. And yeah, I mean, you have the style, you have the look, you got the voice, you know, you got the following, you're in the culture. And I think, again, that's what separates you, I think, from a lot of other artists out there. It's just that you're in that culture. Like, it's so cool, like, to see, like, again, like the Instagram and walking around with the beer and like hanging out, and it's like, wow, she's like here, she's kicking it with us, she's like Tupac, you know, like from the party. Like, that's really cool. That's something that as a fan I can appreciate that, and to see you at an event and doing stuff like that, that's really cool. But I like that, you know, it's possible for someone who has talent like yourself to be out there doing it and get that opportunity that, you know, you would never get that back in the day, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like I was thinking about it today, you know, I was thinking about like, you know, Mariah Carey, for example. I mean, for a fan to contact Mariah Carey back in the day, you had to like write a letter, put a stamp on it, send it out. Maybe her butler will get it, and you know, if the dog doesn't chew it up, then she'll get it, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe she'll write you back. Like now it's like so changed. Like people can reach out to you, you can reach out to fans, you can sing your songs right there on Instagram, and people get an idea who you are. So I think just times have really changed. So now you've put out some videos that are really good quality, and you signed on the label. What was like the first song that you tackled with the record deal and put out?
It's kind of funny because a lot of people thought it was Laughing Boy. That was my record label's idea. They were like, "You're perfect for that, the voice, your tone, it's perfect, you know." So we tackled that. But the funny thing, which I'm gonna give everyone behind the story, is I tackled that one, and I actually brought This Love Is Real by the Love Lights. I brought it to my team. They've never heard the song. I played it for them, and they were like, "Oh my God," like, you know, and I kind of gave them a little taste, and I started singing it, and they're like, "We have to do this one." So then fast forward, doing the video shoot is my first time shooting, and I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and the first video was actually This Love Is Real. I shot first, and then it was Laughing Boy, but we put out Laughing Boy first, and then This Love Is Real. So it kind of was like a twisted. So